There are moments in life when a single phrase, offered with honesty, becomes more than just sound. It becomes a place. It stays with you, echoing softly in your thoughts, shaping the direction you choose to walk. Tonight, as I stand before you, I want to begin with something simple. Thank you for the words you have given me, the kind ones, the hopeful ones, the ones filled with expectations and encouragement. Over time, they've built something around me, something I carry everywhere I go. They've built a home. This home is not made of stone or wood. It is made of trust, of responsibility, of the faith so many of you place in the future of our country. When I listen to people of all ages, students, workers, teachers, parents, I hear more than their voices. I hear the walls of that home rising a little higher, becoming sturdier, becoming warmer. Because your words tell me who we are, what we strive for, and how deeply we care for the place we share. Within that home, there is another smaller and more intimate space, the one I share with my sister. It is a place built from laughter, from long conversations, from silence we understand without needing to explain it. Growing up together has taught us that responsibility feels lighter when carried side by side. She is the person who quietly reminds me that strength doesn't always have to be loud, that duty doesn't have to be solitary, and that the future becomes clearer when seen through more than one pair of eyes. Every generation is called to build something. Some are asked to build bridges, others to build peace, others to build understanding. Our generation is asked to build trust between communities, trust between the past and the future, trust between what we hope for and what we can achieve. And for this, words matter. They guide the hands that build. They remind us that Spain is not just a territory or a map. It is a shared home, shaped by every voice willing to speak with honesty and listen with intention. When I meet young people from different regions, I notice that even though our accents may differ, our dreams are remarkably similar. We all want belonging. We want fairness. We want dignity for our work, respect for our roots, and opportunities that allow us to stand tall. And whenever someone speaks about their hopes, I feel that same home expanding, reaching farther, opening its doors wider, becoming a place where all of us have room to grow. There are days when the responsibilities ahead feel immense. I won't pretend otherwise, but then I remember the words people offer freely, greetings in the streets, letters from students, stories from grandparents, and suddenly those responsibilities feel less heavy. They become something meaningful, something shared, because a home that is built from your words is also supported by your presence. My sister has always been a part of this journey. Not in the spotlight, not always in front of the cameras, but in the most important way, by standing close, observing, learning, supporting. The quiet bond we share makes the challenges easier to face and the hopes easier to carry. In every step forward, I know she is watching with the same devotion to our country, the same respect for our traditions, and the same desire to contribute, each in our own way, to the place we love. To everyone who speaks with sincerity, who teaches, who guides, who questions, who encourages, who believes, please know that your words matter. They shape more than opinions. They shape character. They teach humility. They inspire courage. They remind us that leadership is not about standing above others, but about standing among them, listening and learning, and never forgetting who we serve. The future of our country will not be built by one voice alone. It will be built by the chorus of many different, diverse, sometimes contrasting, but united in purpose. If we continue speaking with respect, acting with responsibility, and believing that our shared home is worth protecting, then there is no challenge we cannot face. And so, let me end where I began, with gratitude. Thank you for the words you have spoken, the hopes you have shared, and the trust you continue to place in me. They have built a home around my heart, one I will spend my life honoring, expanding, and strengthening. A home built from your words is not fragile, it is powerful, it is enduring, and together we will continue building it brick by brick, voice by voice, generation by generation, until everyone who lives within it feels not only protected, but truly seen. There are moments when a single phrase, offered without grand intention, quietly settles into your memory and transforms the way you understand the world. Sometimes it comes from a teacher who believes in you before you believe in yourself. Sometimes it comes from someone in a crowd who simply says, "Keep going, we're with you." These small expressions weave themselves into your heart, and before you realize it, they begin shaping the foundation of who you are. They become a place where you return whenever you need guidance or strength. They become belonging. Belonging is not built in a day. It grows slowly, word by word, in the spaces where people choose to speak with sincerity. Every time someone shares their hope, their experience, their worries, or their dreams, they are placing a brick in the invisible home we all share. And it is in those moments when voices carry truth that we begin to understand that our identity is not crafted alone. It is formed by the echoes of thousands of people who speak to us, about us, and for us, with a generosity they may never even notice. From a young age, I've learned that words have a way of anchoring you. They hold you steady when everything around you seems to be shifting. When people tell you that they trust you, that they expect something meaningful from you, that they believe in your capacity to listen and lead, it creates a sense of direction that you cannot ignore. Their confidence becomes the path beneath your feet. Their hopes become the compass in your hand. There are times when responsibility feels overwhelming, not because it is unwanted, but because it is precious. And precious things demand care. In those moments, belonging becomes essential, knowing that you are part of a shared story, not isolated, not separate, makes duty feel lighter. It reminds you that you are not stepping forward alone, but with thousands of voices behind you, guiding you, shaping you, and offering the encouragement you need to continue. Every conversation I've had with people across different corners of the country has taught me that belonging is built through honesty. When someone speaks openly about the challenges they face or the dreams they carry, they are offering more than information, they are offering connection. They are inviting you into their world, and when you listen with respect and openness, you accept that invitation. The distance between you narrows, and the foundation beneath you strengthens. There is something deeply moving about hearing someone express love for their land. It might be a young student speaking about their aspirations, or an elder sharing stories from a past that shaped their community. These expressions, full of emotion and truth, become stones in the shared foundation of belonging. They remind us that our identity is woven from countless experiences that extend far beyond our own, and belonging is not only created by the words spoken directly to you, it is also found in what you observe. Watching people work with dignity, watching families care for one another, watching communities support each other in moments of difficulty, these silent acts speak as clearly as the most eloquent speech. They teach you what it means to stand for something greater than yourself. They show you the values that define our collective home. Belonging also requires humility. It asks you to listen before you answer, to understand before you act. The more you listen to the voices around you from different regions, different ages, different experiences, the more you realize that belonging is not uniform. It is beautifully varied. Every voice adds a different texture, a different color, a different melody. And it is this diversity that gives belonging its strength. There are voices that stay with you long after the conversation has ended. A child sharing their excitement for the future. A teacher expressing pride in their students. A worker describing the challenges of their daily routine. Each of these voices builds something lasting inside you. They teach you empathy. They deepen your sense of responsibility. They remind you that leadership is not about standing above anyone. It is about standing with everyone. Belonging cannot be demanded. It must be earned through respect, consistency, and authenticity. When people place their trust in you, they are offering something invaluable, a piece of themselves. And it is your duty to honor that trust with integrity, with commitment, and with the promise that you will listen, learn, and grow alongside them. Over time, the words you receive form a kind of internal architecture. They remind you of where you come from and what you represent. They become a quiet source of strength when challenges arise. They push you to be better not for yourself alone, but for the people who believe you can contribute something meaningful to their lives. And there is a wonderful truth within all of this. Belonging is reciprocal. Just as the words of others build a home within you, your words also build homes within them. When you speak with honesty, when you show genuine care, when you express gratitude or hope, you are offering someone else a foundation to stand on. You are telling them, you matter, your story matters, your voice matters. These are the kinds of words that endure, shaping the emotional landscape of a nation. Belonging also extends across generations. The wisdom of those who came before us becomes a guiding light for those who follow. The dreams of young people inject energy and renewal into the present, and the conversations between these generations, the exchange of words and expectations, creates a bridge that carries us toward a more unified future. As we move forward, each of us plays a part in strengthening this shared foundation. Each word of encouragement, each gesture of respect, each expression of hope adds to our collective home. It is a home built not from wealth or power, but from sincerity, from understanding, from the belief that when we speak with truth and listen with compassion, we create a place where everyone can stand with dignity. Belonging is not something given at birth. It is something we grow into by choosing to contribute to the world around us. And the more we speak with kindness and purpose, the stronger our foundation becomes. The more we listen with openness, the wider our home expands. And the more we trust one another, the more unbreakable our shared identity becomes. Words can be fragile, but when spoken from the heart, they become the strongest walls we know. They protect us, they guide us, they unite us. And together, through the words we share and the values we uphold, we continue building the foundation of belonging that defines us today, tomorrow, and for generations to come. There is a kind of strength that does not announce itself. It doesn't ask for attention, nor does it try to stand in the light. It lives in moments so small that they often pass unnoticed by the world, yet they shape a life more deeply than the grandest speeches or the loudest declarations. That is what sisterhood feels like, a quiet architecture of support, built slowly over years, in the silent spaces where understanding grows. It is made of shared glances, inside jokes, disagreements that turn into lessons, and the constant reassurance that someone walks beside you, even when the path becomes difficult. Growing up side by side with someone who shares not only your childhood, but also the expectations, responsibilities, and hopes for the future, creates a kind of bond that is both delicate and strong. There is an unspoken agreement that no matter how different your personalities may be, no matter how different your roles become, you remain part of the same structure. You stand on the same foundation, and you strengthen it for each other. There are memories that stay with me, small ones, not easily described, studying together late at night, exchanging books, whispering thoughts that felt too heavy to say out loud, cheering for one another during moments that felt overwhelming. It is in these ordinary moments that the architecture of support quietly forms. You realize that you are not alone, not even for a second, because someone close to you understands your worries before you speak them, senses your excitement before you express it, and offers reassurance before you even realize you need it. Sisterhood teaches you that support doesn't always come through big gestures. Often, it is felt in silence, in simply being present. Sometimes, the greatest comfort comes from sitting together without needing to talk, knowing that your thoughts are safe in the company of someone who has shared your life from the very beginning. These moments remind you that love is not always loud. It can be soft, invisible, yet steady like a heartbeat. There is also a special kind of honesty that exists between sisters. It is an honesty that can be gentle or direct, but it always comes from a place of care. Sisters tell you the truth when you need to hear it, even when it's uncomfortable, because they want you to grow. They encourage you when you doubt yourself. They challenge you when you hold back. They remind you of who you are when you start forgetting. This honesty becomes a pillar in your life, a structure you can lean on. Knowing that someone can see your potential without being blinded by your flaws, and see your flaws without ever questioning your worth, gives you a stability that few other relationships can offer. As time passes and responsibilities grow, the bond between sisters shifts. It becomes less about shared toys and rooms, and more about shared duties, shared hopes, and shared dreams for the future. You begin to recognize the strength in the other, and you draw from it. You begin to see that each of you holds different pieces of wisdom, different forms of patience, different types of courage, and together those pieces create a balance that neither of you could hold alone. There is a quiet pride in watching your sister grow, seeing her become more confident, more thoughtful, more herself. It is a pride that grows from affection, but is shaped by admiration. You begin to understand that the person you once shared childhood arguments with is now one of the most important pillars in your life, and even though you may walk in different directions, your paths remain connected by the invisible threads of shared history. Sisterhood also teaches resilience. When one falters, the other instinctively reaches out. When one is overwhelmed, the other steps in with calm. When one needs space, the other gives it without judgment. It is a balance that feels natural, created by years of observing, understanding, and adapting to one another. This resilience is not loud or dramatic. It is steady and reliable. It is the kind of quiet support that says, without words, you don't have to carry everything alone. And even in moments when you do not ask for help, the presence of a sister reminds you that help is always near. Sisterhood becomes a shared compass. It guides you when you feel uncertain, reminding you of the values you grew up with, the lessons you learned together, and the responsibilities you both hold. When life becomes complicated, the bond offers clarity. It helps you stay grounded. It reminds you to act not only with responsibility, but with compassion. There are moments when the world feels wide, loud, and full of expectations. In those moments, sisterhood brings peace. It draws you back into a space where you can breathe, reflect, and simply be yourself. And as you grow older, you realize that this quiet architecture is one of the greatest gifts life can offer, a shelter built on trust, affection, and shared understanding. Sisterhood also has its laughter, the kind that cannot be explained to anyone else because it comes from years of shared experiences. It carries lightness even during difficult times. It reminds you that joy can be found in the simplest moments. And often, it is these moments of shared laughter that become the beams supporting the entire structure of your bond. There is something special in knowing that no matter what challenges come, you face them with someone who knows you not just as you are now, but as you have always been. Someone who has seen your strengths grow and your insecurities fade. Someone who has witnessed your journey from childhood to responsibility. Someone who understands the weight you carry and respects the way you choose to carry it. Sisterhood is not about perfection. It is about presence. It is about being there quietly, consistently, lovingly. It is about offering support in a way that does not seek attention or praise. It is about understanding that some of the strongest foundations are built not from grand gestures, but from small, steady acts of loyalty. In the end, sisterhood feels like a home within a home, a place built slowly, patiently, with care. a place that remains untouched by time, growing stronger with every shared experience, a place where you can return, no matter how far life takes you, and find comfort in knowing that some bonds do not break, they simply deepen. And in that quiet architecture of support, you find the courage to step forward with confidence, not because you walk alone, but because someone who has always walked beside you continues to do so in every chapter of your life. There is a kind of future that cannot be built by one person alone. It cannot be shaped by a single idea or protected by a single generation. It is created slowly, through cooperation, through responsibility, and above all, through trust. Trust is not simply a word we use to reassure one another. It is the foundation that allows a country to move forward with confidence. And service, the willingness to give something of yourself for the well-being of others, becomes the door through which that future begins. From an early age, I have understood that the future is not a distant place. It begins with the choices we make every day. It grows from the values we practice, not just the ones we speak about. When people choose to act with kindness, when communities decide to help one another, when young people commit to something greater than their own comfort, the future starts taking shape. It becomes visible in the way we care for each other, in the way we protect what matters, and in the way we carry our responsibilities with dignity. Trust is earned slowly, through consistency and sincerity. When someone entrusts you with their hope, their expectations, or their concerns, they are offering you something delicate. And when people across a country extend that trust, they are building a bridge between what is and what can be. That bridge is not made of promises, it is made of actions. It is strengthened each time someone feels heard, each time someone's effort is recognized, each time someone's voice is not only welcomed but valued. Service, then, becomes the natural response to this trust. It is the commitment to show through actions what words alone can never fully express. It means placing the needs of others before your own comfort. It means listening not to reply, but to understand. It means being present.